Hey everybody, it's been a while. So I actually have a watch that I wanted to talk about. Boom. It just arrived. Flipping it over so you can't see my address, but I'm going to do an unboxing. It's been a while, so I'm going to do an unboxing video. So here we go. Boom. You know what? Let's do it that way. Boom, boom, boom. What was inside? Traska Venturer. This is the model that I ordered on, I don't know, it only took like 4 days to get here. Nice cushioning so that the watch doesn't get damaged. And I think this particular color sold out within, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. So Traska Venturer. That's a black box, another box inside. Nice case. It's leather for sure. Like the Royal logo right there for Traska. Very nice. And let's see what the watch looks like. Ooh-wee. I don't know what that is, but all right. So there you go. It's the green dial of the Venturer. Actually, not even green dial. It's the mint dial of the Venturer. First impression. It's not as mint as I thought. The color is, I don't know how to describe this. It's a little bit, it's like a Tiffany blue, I guess, rather than mint. Just my impression of it when I'm looking at this lighting. It's not a fresh mint. It's a bit of a, I don't know if the appropriate word is diluted, but it's not in your face pop-out mint. And as far as my first impression of it, I'm trying to look at the viewfinder as well as in person. So in the viewfinder, it is a bit more faded out. I could see it being a little bit minty here, but I actually think that it's not, I don't know. I can't grasp what I'm trying to say here. It's not as minty as I thought it was going to be. It's very, very subtle. It's subtle. So if you wanted like a really popping in your face type of mint green, I don't think this is the right color for it. I think it also has to do with the fact that there's the inner rotating bezel that's gray, that is somehow playing with the color combination, where it's just kind of muting the mint a little bit. But yeah, I would say this is more of like a muted mint color, rather than just straight out in your face. The logo is embroiled there. There's drill lugs. I see the movement. I think this is Miyota movement. I don't know the exact number of it, but the reason I got this watch, people were raving about the actual bracelet, and then I always wanted, not always, but I recently just started to want a little bit more of a mint or a Tiffany blue type of dial. So I really like this. This is 38.5 millimeters and 10.5 thickness. At least that's what is stated on the measurement, but let me go and see if that's actually the truth. If I measure the calipers thickness with a digital caliper, I'm getting 12.5. So maybe they meant 10.5 without the actual crystals, but it's around 12.5 thickness, which isn't too bad. Yeah, visually just looking at it, I was like, there's no way that's 10.5, because I actually have a watch, the Young Hands Format, which is at 10.8, and this is way thicker than that. So maybe they mean 10.5 without the crystals. Maybe I just didn't read the fine printing. But the thickness that I'm measuring is around 12.5. And then as far as the width, let's go the width, 38.5. So that one is fairly accurate. So giving you heads up, the thickness is listed as 10.5, seems to be around 12.5 with the actual crystals included. And then the width of the diameter seems to be fairly accurate. Let me take off all this plastic and see if it actually, improves the visuals a little bit. So there we go. So there it is with everything kind of removed. You have this hand crown up here to have the inner rotating bezels. It's super smooth. And then the crown, is it a screw down crown here? Yep, it's a screw down crown. And then the first is the date. Then the second is the time. Is there a third? No. 1, 2. And then it is actually a screw down crown, which is good. I think it has 150 meters of water resistance. I'm really never going to use it. I hate the water, so I'm not sure exactly why. For people who actually go diving, 150 meters of water resistance, but it's not going to affect me whatsoever. The loom, I actually don't care. So I know people are really into the loom shot and the bezel action and all that stuff. I really could not care less. All I care about is just the visual and then how it kind of fits around my wrist. So let me just kind of position. Oh, that's a nice little pattern there on the clasp. Didn't know that before. All right, boom. There you go. My wrist is 6.5 and this 38.5 diameter is perfect. It's a perfect size for my wrist. Now, if you have a wrist size that's a little bit bigger, I don't know. You're playing with fire right there, but it really depends on what you're into, right? If you like small looking watches on your wrist, then this is probably a better watch for you. But for me, from a 6.5 inch wrist, and probably like people who have smaller wrists than mine, yeah, I think this is perfect. It's not too visually sticking out as far as like looking like a spaceship on your wrist, but it's not too small to a point where people are not kind of seeing that you have a watch on. It just kind of fits with the proportion of the wrist. I love 38 point diameter watches. I just think that it fits perfectly with 6.5, 6.75 size wrists, especially if they have a bezel around it, which kind of brings down the dial a little bit as far as how it kind of visually appears. This one has the inner rotating bezel, which kind of brings down the actual size of the dial a little bit. And the case itself is around 38.5. So everything just kind of fits perfectly within within my small wrist. So, and I could tell right off the bat that the actual, the bracelet is silky smooth. Silky smooth. The only drawback that I would have, and maybe I'll do a review of it, after I worn it for a little bit, is for people who have ordered this watch or are thinking about ordering this watch, the mint is not as minty as I thought. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think you know what I'm saying. It's not as fresh mint, man. It's a little bit diluted, muted mint dial. Just giving people the heads up. The other thing is, as far as the thickness of it, maybe I just didn't read the fine print of it, but it was saying that it was, let me take it off my wrist. It was stating that it was around 10.5. When you visually just open it, you'll know right off the bat that that's not true. This is around 12.5 with the crystals, so be aware of that. But overall, right now, when I look at it in person, even through the viewfinder, it's a very, very, what's the word here? Unique looking watch without being too obtrusive. So I had a watch, teal colored, Brew, I think Retromatic. No, it's a retrograph. That was a conversational starter. Some people were like, what are you wearing on your wrist? This one, I think, is subtle enough to be noticed, yet not be too obtrusive, if that makes any sense. So right now, I think I like it. There's a little bit of a bling around it, which I really enjoy. I love bling, but not too much bling. Just the right amount of bling. The only thing that I would probably change at this moment on my first impression is that I would make that dial a little bit more mintier, if that makes any sense. But that's my first impression. If you are interested in this watch, hopefully you could get it in the second market, maybe, because I think they're sold out, and I don't know exactly when they're getting the inventory. I believe they had the blue version of this Venture still available, but every other color, whether it's mint, white, or black, has been sold out. So that's it, and I'll talk to you folks later.